Koloyim La Yahweh Bashim Ashab Bashim Kakadash, double honors of Apostle Ultimate Millstone, peace, citation, hope for elect. My title's lesson: Esau will vomit the riches that he swallowed down. And one thing about vomiting is that, vomiting is a very forceful act of pretty much spewing out any like liquid or solids that you just recently ingested, and that's pretty much how Esau is going to give up all his riches. It's going to be forcefully. All the riches that he got from ill-gotten gains that he got by deceit, as it tells you in the book of Yasharahla, the 10th chapter, he's going to vomit that up. And how the Most High is going to do that? When Yasharahla cracks open the skies and comes back, and when he gives his men spiritual power as well. Scriptures say how the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. There ain't gonna be no peace treaty, ain't gonna be no act of trying to be peaceful amongst the nations to take back everything they stole from us, especially Esau. Fuck that. We're gonna take it back by way of violence and by way of force, and that's how this kingdom is gonna go out. This kingdom was found by violence, and it's gonna go out by violence. Let me start off with Job 20. Starting at verse 10, it says, his children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. His bones are full of the sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth, yet his meat in his bowels is turned. It is the gall of asps within him. He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. Yahweh shall cast them out of his belly. He shall suck the poison of asps. The viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. And you see, one thing about Esau is like, yeah, he ain't gonna see, anymore the benefits of having the wealth. He gonna see all that being translated to the men of the Lord. And when he sees our kingdom being established, he's going to also be in hardcore captivity, working on building our kingdom for 1,000 years, as well as the other nations. So scriptures mention about how with the nation of Israel, thy gates shall be open continuously. So they're going to see that, and they're going to also contribute to that as well. And he is not going to rejoice in the kingdom of heaven as well as the other nations. They're all going to be suffering. Verse 19 says, because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away an house which he builded not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Right. So you're going to have it to where, there's going to be the other nations kicking Esau's ass, and even amongst his own people, they're going to kick his ass too. Especially the Edomites that weren't on the Banker family level. They're going to be against the Banker family members amongst the Edomites. They've been pretty much calling the shots on the central banks, controlling the nation's wealth, controlling almost like 80 to 90% of the world's money supply. Yeah. And Esau is already a house divided on this side, so how much more in the kingdom? Because the curses was on us for quite some time, and it's going to be upon these Edomites, 2,000 times more than what they did to us. The Wisdom of Solomon 12th chapter says about how the Most High scourges his enemies 1,000 times, and plus scriptures mention about how the Esau is going to receive double for what he did. When you put those precepts together, that's 2,000 times, while the other nation's going to get 1,000 times the punishment. So, verse 23 says, when he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Right? Because he ain't going to be able to fully implement his NWO. You know? He ain't going to be able to complete all his agendas that he has. You know? And the thing is, yeah, the Most High is going to allow him to get to a certain point with his NWO, but ultimately he's going to intervene and push his New World Order through Yahawashi. And that's the thing. You Edomites, whatever you think that you're doing right now is satisfying you, yeah, you're just being satisfied taking those quick W's, you know. You're taking the quick dubs to ultimately take the biggest L. And while you're eating still and filling your belly, the Most High is going to give you that one big strike, and eventually you're going to be caught off guard and you're going to vomit. You know, and this is figuratively speaking. In verse 24, it says, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn and cometh out of the body, yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. Right. What the Most High is finna do is he finna cause a nuclear holocaust to take place. And in the midst of World War III, you Edomites are going to try to fight against, you know, Yahawashi and the angels, as well as the other nations, and then eventually what Yahawashi finna do is finna destroy all y'all and take the upper class heathens amongst you to put you into subjection as the first fruits of slaves, so that you could bring back the rest of your nations that died during the nuclear holocaust. And as he puts you in captivity, of course, all your riches are going to be translated over, and you won't have to be forced to be in subjection and give us more wealth by building our kingdom for 1,000 years. In the Job, the 5th chapter, verse 11 says, to set up on high those that be low, talking about us, because we in a low position right now, and we're going to be set up on high. We all know through the Spirit, you know, Daniel 2:21 and Daniel 4:17, you know, the Most High gives the kingdom to whoever he wants, and, you know, Daniel 4:17 goes into how he setteth up the basis of all men to rule, and that's Esau. Now, continuing on, it says, verse 11 of Job 5th chapter, that those which mourn may be exalted to safety. In verse 12, he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. Right. So that's pretty much how the Lord is. You got it to where Esau think that he's a step above the Heavenly Father, but that's what the Most High wants him to think. You know, so that the Most High could pretty much trick him in the end and put your ass in your place and show you that he's in control. And this is James the 5th chapter, verse 1. It says, go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, which is going to their monetary system. And the rust of them that shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as a fire. You have heaped treasures together for the last days. Yeah, because you got it to where, you know, they hiding all their treasures in their secret vaults. You know, they can't even flex with the jewelry they got. You know, this is all being stored at nice temperature, you know, being polished and cleaned. You know what I mean? It's like they got all that jewelry to just look at and just to pretty much have all stored for the elect and for Yahawashi as well. You know, because first and foremost, you know, Yahawashi, and then it's elect. And verse 4 says, behold, the hire the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped and entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth, and have been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you. And you see, that's one thing about Esau, is that, he can never get enough. Never satisfied, not even with blood. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, he knows the blessing of the nation of Israel. He has it to where the whole earth is mourning. Even his own people are mourning. Not only just the other nations, but his own people in particular. You know what I mean? Here it is. The curse is supposed to be on the nation of Israel. But the funny thing is, showing you that the Most High is an avenger for his own people, is that he mentioned that and promised that he will put all the curses upon the other nations on them that hate us, which that is mentioned in Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, I believe is verse 7, if I'm not mistaken, in that particular verse. But yeah, it goes to show you right there, how much of a devil Esau is, because scriptures mention about how an unwise king destroyed his own people. And then, the nerve of this devil to even go as far as having a Georgia Guidestone, to where he wants to try to maintain population under 500 million. And then he wants to control the money supply, the food, and he wants to also control, basically all the industries that you see all around you. And he has it to where people have to live in public housing and make it harder for people to own houses and things of that nature. And that's why the houses that we gonna have you Edomites in ain't gonna be houses. It's gonna be in fucking pits of the earth, which is shitholes. That's where we're gonna have you. And after 1,000 years of captivity, you're just gonna be pretty much destroyed, as it tells you in Obadiah, the first chapter. And 1,000 years is gonna be slow, and that's gonna be your fate right there. And the Most High is gonna make you vomit all those riches by using his men with spiritual power under the order of Yahweh to destroy you, because we're the hand of the Heavenly Father. With that, I hope and let's edify us to all glory, honor to another Yahweh Bashem Shamach Yahweh Shabbat Shem Bakadash, the honor to Pastor Oscar, no son, peace, activity, full life, Shalom.